Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And, we haven't gone through all the junglers, but we're getting kind of thin and difficult to find the off-meta footage. And I figured it's time to start going randomly, seeing what's good thematically. And so we're back with Rek'Sai. But in this one, a little bit of a different approach. Obviously, Rek'Sai is a carnivore jungler. Obviously, Rek'Sai likes to obliterate the early game and win in the mid game. But how do you do that? And how, when things don't exactly go your way? You can see I've left the kill markers for you. That early phase is normally very much a sort of, let's do our first clear, let's get some ganks, let's get pressure, let's get double crabs, and now you feel good, you feel well as an early game jungler. And when it's a farming jungler such as a Kayn, a Karthus, what have you, and maybe you don't quite get that lead, the ticker on the win conditions of Rek'Sai's game start to really make you feel a little bit pressured into forcing plays. However, we're going to look at the full carnivore experience against a Kayn. We like watching Kayn get smashed lately in the main channel as well. Runes on your screen now. We're going for a Conqueror page. Now, I'm a Hail of Blades gamer, but in Korea, especially in this MMR range, which should be up, yes, they really love the Conqueror. Now, that includes more of the auto attack cancelling. It's a little slow in your Q procs. You want to get the Fury and so on, but it's still the best overall rune set, in terms of forgiveness, because it will translate better into the late game and so on. Now, a lot of people also don't like this new jungle item. Machete, they say, machete, the days were good. Yeah, it's true. But Rek'Sai actually does very well, you'll see here, with the new jungle items, because the talisman burn on the AoE camps is just so juicy. And it really helps quite a bit. You can shift away around. It's much more forgiving in terms of HP loss on this first clear. Now, in this case, right, we are doing this standard red side clear. Now, normally, as we said, we want to go and gank mid lane. We want to look to gank top lane. In this case, you've got a Lulu. That's very nice. You could look to do an Azir, but unfortunately, kind of tough. You also need to make sure this guy's W, which he doesn't until level 3. Now, showing up on the bottom side here is a Kayn. This is an excellent ward. Applaud your local ADC should they do this. You say, thank you very much for that ward. Now, do they die to it as well is the question. He's going to E over. Careful, they're going for the 2v2 trade. Flashes towards, and no way. That's unfortunate. So they went for the 2v2 trade, and now your laners are basically giving up some stuff to a Kayn that was seen. This is not optimal. Your decision making here is as follows. Once you see him down here, you can flex into a vertical jungling situation because you press tab, you see red, you see 12 CS, all the good things, and you could probably still try and go for this. However, it's a cannon wave. You get a lot of damage to tank. Do you even have kill pressure when he hits 3? Unlikely. Unlikely. Top lane dive we could do, but it is a Renekton famous for 2v1 turns, like a Darius. And Rek'Sai decides, you know what, because this nonsense, right, starts happening, we see him show here, we're already pathing this direction. This is a very close fight. Korean style, let me rotate and try and impact. And obviously the Draven survives, but because she's rotating here, good scan to clear the ward, because we saw walk, walk, walk. So why would you do that? Because he's warding. So Rek'Sai knows, I'm going to scan it, deny that vision. Super low, super low. Could go for it. It is a Thresh. And the fortunate thing is if you were paying attention, you would have seen the flash. Now the flash comes through from the Gallia for the taunt. Rek'Sai actually gets thrashed. So, this is what you have to consider. You hit this, right? You could hit the plant just to see if Kayn's in the area. But this is, again, a cannon wave. And the carnivore mindset is we need to go for this, but what a hook. Thresh is just one of those champions that's just neat, and Galio gets the kill, which is great, but Rek'Sai gets nothing. Leave the wave because we don't want to corrupt that. Azir has prio here. You get hit by a plant onto this. From the blue team's perspective, we see it. Now, you don't see him, right? If you were focusing very intently on that bottom wave, which we should have been, we might not see which direction Azir goes. So let's watch. This is important. Okay, This is important. Now, in this situation, when that happens, Rek'Sai is already leaving the bottom wave. Look at this. Press your F keys. Press your minimap. You're a Carnivore jungler. Things haven't exactly gone as well as they could have. I mean, it's just neutral for us. Kayn has done better than he could ever imagined. If you are now thinking, I want to go do this crab, this my crab. The problem is, if you don't watch where the Azir goes, you're now worried I'm going to get 2v1. But if you're an intelligent human being with the functioning F keys on your keyboard, which you can hotkey to whatever you want, you would notice, he went up. And the plant being hit was just Rek'Sai. And Thresh was low, and Draven was dead, which means it's just Kayn, which means your bottom lane can rotate. Okay? Now, you know that at this point, because Azir doesn't re-show, he's 100% gone back to base. It also means that you can double scuttle. And this is the Carnivore style. This is exactly what we're talking about. This wasn't an action made out of, I'm Rek'Sai, I need to do what I want. This was an action made out of, well, yes, I'm Rek'Sai and I do what I want, but it's not inting. So many times I see low elo Rek'Sais do this and want to do this, but they didn't track the Azir. The Azir walked down, but they didn't pay attention to it. They didn't realize that the top lane had prio and then it get collapsed on. When you're telegraphing your moves like this as Rek'Sai, it's very important you understand back timers, HP resources, and where everyone is. And at this point, you can see the Kayn here has decided to just, do his second tier Raptors again. He's really nothing else to do. He wanted to do this. The Kayn wanted to do this, but you can't. There's no way. So he just exercises the restraint, the restraint he should have taken when he decided to pick up that farming utensil, and backs away. Now Rek'Sai basically can go double scuttle and look for this. Hit the plant. Doesn't matter if he sees you. We need to know where he is. It's very important. Top lane dive. Very low. E is up. We know where Kayn is. Kayn knows where we are. The wave is pushing back. Lulu is supremely low, which, I didn't click on, but hopefully you look at the frames. I'm not going to click on every bit of information all the time in the moment, because it's not possible, but you can look at the frames and see, Lulu's low. You don't want to stick around for this. You could. I mean, you could. I wouldn't anticipate it, but what if you don't kill them? What if Kayn flashes away? What if Azir, Renekton, and Kayn all 3v1 fork you? This is not what we want. Now, you see the Azir moving up here again through the Tremor Sense, which means most likely he warded. Yes, he did. And again, something to note as a Carnivore jungler, when he gets back into lane, you can press tab and you see this control ward, right? So you press tab, you see the control ward, then he will leave your vision, which means you won't see anything else anymore. You have this question mark in game. When he gets back to lane, right? When he gets back to lane, boom, that will be gone. That control won't be in his inventory anymore, which means you know it's placed right there. All the information that a Carnivore jungler needs is available to you, and I think that's really the core tenet of this early game video here, because things aren't going as well as he wanted. Now, you know the Kayn is on his blue, and he's basically hovering, and I kind of like this. That is just cheeky. I'm just going to go in and take it from you. The Azir now can't rotate because he shoved all the way up the lane, and you're floating to the top side where Lulu is doing top lane Lulu things to the Renekton. He has no TP, but he has flash, and there you go. Beautiful. Nice. Now, what was your first inclination? Don't, be honest with yourself. Once you double crabbed and you couldn't go for this dive, and you kind of wanted to cheese here, and you went back to this bush and you saw the Azir ward, this is the decision making. Am I a Carnivore? Or do I just go farm? Now, a lot of you, I guarantee you, a lot of you think this is risky. I'm going to take tier 1. I'm going to go take tier 2. And you're not making this play. This is a huge play. Now, she goes back to base, excuse me. And Kayn loses all of this. Rek'Sai dives Renekton top and goes back. You can assume at this point that Kayn might look for revenge. Now, unfortunately, the replay ruined it. We saw Kayn here. From the Rek'Sai's perspective, all the camps on the bottom side of tier 1. You didn't take your blue yet. You didn't take your wolves or your grum. The most valuable camps that you have are Krugs and Raptors. So, you have two schools of thought. And the Rek'Sai is really splitting the difference. Base to Krugs, tier 2. If Kayn decides to counter jungle this as well, assuming you're going to go bottom side to gank the pushing bot, he's going to run into you and Lulu. He dies. Alternatively, we could simply do as I said. Straight down. No flashes. No heal. There's a Jinx. There's a Galio. Let's gank it, because we anticipate that the Kayn will be stealing our camps. If he isn't stealing our camps, cool. I take that. So, let's see what our Rek'Sai actually does. Might look for action, might look to contest the Raptor camp here, but I'm not sure. See, by hitting that Prey Seeker, by throwing it out, you know that the Kayn has taken them. So I think this is a bit of a non-compute by the Rek'Sai. What the Rek'Sai wanted to do was maximize experience gain by going straight to Raptors and then taking blue side into bottom lane gank, into most likely a dragon and red invade on the second tier red. But the problem with that is you're really thinking idealistically. You know, you're not considering what the Kayn wants to do. So I really think in your elos, 100% you should have looked. You should be looking straight for the bottom lane gank. I think you gotta look for this. You know, you gotta look for this in your silver games, your gold games, your diamond games, your plat games, because this is what will win you bottom lane, right? And will give you huge advantages. Now the Rex is doing it anyway, okay? But the wave is not in as good a position as it was if she had gone directly. However, never mind. You know, that's a missed opportunity. I think taking the wolves was a little. Mid gap, mid gap, excuse me, no, not feeling well, but hold the wave if that does happen. It's nothing you can really do. I've ganked many times and a solo laner decides to TP. By holding the wave, you're giving away your location. You know that the Kayn is going to steal your Krugs, as you can see, goodbye. But what it does give you is prio to do this, and I don't understand why junglers don't do this. Wait for your support, hop over the wall, you know it's all warded, let's go. The repeat gank on greed pushes, on winning lanes, is what gets you so many wins. Give that to the Jinx if you can. If not, don't play around with the Draven, just take the kill. Beautiful. Excellent. Well done. Now, decisions. Fall back to your blue, the first blue actually. Take your Grump. We're level 6, we kind of want to use it. Go and steal this, perhaps, if the Kayn is in the area. We know that the Azir is here. No ultimate, no TP. You have a lot of options. I still think the dragon here is the right play. Should people join you? If Kayn is around, again, vision control is important. Here you watch. There. Alright? So, this dragon's the right play. Make sure you notice these little small things so that when you toggle the vision in the replay, you're not going, oh, wait a second, he was in Raptors and I didn't know. Because the information was available to you. And this is very normal behavior by the Kayn. I mean, he's going to counter jungle you and take it. And you see all the pings here. Galio, good support. He's going to go cut him off on the red. You give your blue away like a good Korean solo queue jungler. And worth noting, as you give your blue away here, we see the Kayn. He took the Raptors. He understands that Galio can leave the base and just roam directly. He understands that Lulu's floating, so he doesn't, you know, get overly greedy to take your red. So you know you can do a full sequence up now. And look for Herald plays. Smite already done at 8, that's great. You can use that on champions now. So you have a full float, but you don't have, again, to finish the sentence, you don't have your Raptors up, but when you know you've been counter jungle, please activate your scanner. Too many times people are, they're getting invaded counter jungle, they know this. They don't activate their scanner, so they're getting free vision of what you want to do next, and that's just bad habits. Let's watch that again. So, while the Rek'Sai is going for this red buff, right? Immediately sees, hold up, low, wave pushing, just destroyed my bottom lane gank. This is perfect for Rek'Sai. When a mid laner disrespects Rek'Sai gaming, and this is the crucial thing, the scanner here enables this play to be made. Alright? Because there's no vision and they have no idea what the Rek'Sai wants to do at the moment, this is just great. And of course you have flash, right? So you can flash auto, get your Qs off, and then ult as soon as you're ulted and... Carnivore. 301. You thought from the beginning, this 000 is not going so well, but all the decisions you make, all the micro decisions you make, that control ward here, not seen? No? Okay. Victor? Good boy. Kayn holding waves. Because the Carnivore is making decisive actions, gank top, gank bot again, get kills. That's actually the third gank bot lane. Gank mid lane. The Kayn has no choice but to react to these. And because people are dying, the only real play is to actually farm and counter jungle. And that's what you want to dictate as a Carnivore jungler. Right. Okay, so just a note on that. Please, when you're burrowed and so on, and you see this, and you're trying to maybe look for dive, maybe counter gank, just leave it when you don't have a scanner up, because we don't see through the sphere of vision. I'm unsure if she'd actually see this in game or not, but it's control warded right in the corner, so that if that's an intentional ward, supreme. If not, give free vision. We're not looking to sort of deep dive onto the Herald at this point, because you have enough to finish Prowlers, so you actually want to get that before we fight next. Good wave push, no need to mess around. Bot lane is doing bot lane things. Thresh is an OP champion, actually. One of the original overloaded kits, in my opinion. Respawn. Now, bottom side is looking doomed. You know, you're not going to kill the Draven, you're not going to kill the Thresh. The Jinx does not have any items. Why go there? Losing lane. What we can do is look to cut this off if possible, but this is our real focus, right? This is our real focus. So, you try and stop the Kayn stealing your Raptors for the umpteenth time. If you have here a position or an ability to actually try and get a flash, a W stun, okay, there you go. But now we can Prowler's Crawl, there we go. And that's a dead Kayn, I think. Good. Galio. Didn't have to ult, but we appreciate the kindness. So what this does is chunks you, and you don't really want to have to go back to base here. So the highest camps you have, this is level 6, I believe, hasn't been touched, and the Wolf should be level 8, given that Rek'Sai had already taken those sequencing up. There we go, level 8. Coach, by the way. Secure those. Go back Burrow. Fury gives you some regeneration. Observe this, but we're not looking to fight over it. It's a ward. Now, if Thresh goes ham here, I know we want to go do this. I know you want the Crab. I know you want the Void Beetle. But if something like this happens, you have to look at the Azir and say, no resources. A support. Bottom lane. Top lane. And does the Kayn count as a champion yet? Don't think so. Which means, should a fight occur, let's rotate to it. Alright? There's the Kayn. Azir gets immediately chunked by the Laser of Doom. Kayn decides to flash for it. Rek'Sai ults and weird things happen. Okay, weird interaction, but rotations equal wins. Even if you won't need it. You know? Even if you won't need it, you get to shove, get experience, and maybe a plate. Good. It's good. That's what we want. Now, scan for ward check. Make sure we do this tiny little beetle. Look here for this potential dive. However, be concerned. Actually, I don't think you need to be concerned at all. I think we can just do it straight away. Nice transitive play. Lulu has ult. Yep. Prowlers again. It's so easy. I want this. Oh, a fight. I kill. Okay, I want this. And oh, wait. A dive. I kill. Brilliant. So easy. Now, Kayn is deciding to play some funny game on the top side. It's getting chunked. I don't know what he's doing. He does have ult. Prey Seeker. Orbital strike. Orbital strike Rek'Sai. Nice nuke bomb from range. So, back to our decision originally. Good rotation. Clear this wall, please. Good, thank you. Now, we could go straight down to this dragon. True. We could try and gank bottom lane. True, but look at this. Eclipse is finished. Double longsword 114 to 84. The total gold shift is 5-1 to 3-5. You are not killing this bottom lane 3v2. And if Azir TP's in and it's up shortly again, they will be timing this. You're losing the game from it. You're losing the game from it. So, yes, this is, you know, we want the second dragon. But there's 2 minutes left. Under 2 minutes of plate gold left. As a carnivore jungler, that's the kind of stuff that we want. So, Krugs. Get some more gold. Reset those finally. Now we can go sneak ahead and take that Herald. You see bottom lane died again. And Kayn most likely dies from this and goes beeline to this objective. They can also float and do whatever they want. So I think here the Herald is the right call. Bottom side is not for us. Azir is spotted. We're fine. Watch the Tremor Sense for the Renekton. He kills the tunnel. We see him, but he's not going to do anything. The guy is not a champion. You see here. So you know they're all there. Now, where do we use this Herald? 50 seconds, 53 seconds left. 4 plates, 4 plates, 4 plates. Top lane is the logical choice. But if Galio decides to fight on the mid lane, then we can actually rotate to that. You can take your Raptors in the meantime. There's no immediate rush, but we just want to see what the bottom lane and Kayn are doing. So, normally here where we would leave, oh, well, that's an int from everyone involved. But actually, that makes it really easy, because mid laners are dead, Draven's bot lane, Renekton's top lane, Thresh Kane, what are you guys gonna do? We got a Galio ult and a really fed Rek'Sai. There you go, go back under quickly, flash nice, knock up Mr. Braceseeker, doesn't matter, get the auto tech, there you go, beautifully done. Look at that. Look at that. It's not difficult, and again, this is real-time decision, right? I want to go back to base and maybe take this and then this. Wait, there's 2 minutes left, so I'll take the Herald and give this because bot's losing. Right, now, where can I use it? Top lane maybe, but wave isn't ideal. Everyone's bottom side, maybe there's a fight I need to shadow. Azir ins, Victor dies. Great. Nice tunnel, by the way, to cut off. Let me take the mid lane tower and rotate top side. We have everything we need, but this should be very free. Very free. It's not difficult. I hope you can see that when you change your mindset to map flow, to understanding where to go next and when, watching back timings and resources, and centering it around objectives, it's brilliant. So, we got here level 10 Krugs. We're going to take this. It shouldn't give you 11. Nope. So, we take the Krugs for 11. And now we have 4,000 in pocket. The Krugs we took before the Herald were probably like 2,000 in pocket. So, you doubled your income by staying out a lot longer. And yes, you don't spend that gold, but the Prowler's spike was enough to make all of that possible. So, what you do then is you go buy Edge of Night in one buy, plus the new Ninja Tabby plated steel caps. Don't farm. Do not feel like this is a farm moment. This is a I'm really fed carnivore win condition time. Shut down the Draven. Alright? The Jinx finally has Kraken Slayer, can actually do some damage. Galio's gonna do his thing. Victor's roaming down. Azir is still mid lane. Renekton's top lane. Easy. It's so good. The elevation of this game was brilliant. And it all started. You know, you can rewatch the video, look at it again. Now you counter jungle while she takes tower, that's fine. You know, it all started initially with this back timing to get Prowlers. And once she got Prowlers, this is when that early game, even though it went well, it didn't go perfectly. But with that item spike, the map pressure to look for Herald, to rotate to the fight, to then say, oh, I can dive top lane in the meantime, to, right, I'll give Dragon because there's no ways we win it, so I'll take the Herald. Then instead of immediately reflexing to use it, let me shadow because I know everyone's bottom lane, rotate to the fight, get kills, get solo gold with duo gold with the Galio, translate that to another dive, get level 11, reset, dive bot to make sure they don't exist, and instead of taking your own camps, you're taking the Kane's camps. The guy didn't even get to play the game. It's such good carnivore level jungling this because not everything was perfect for you. Victor, you should have seen that. You can look to be an assassin a little bit now, but remember, Draven doesn't scale, Renekton doesn't really scale, unless he's a huge meat sack. But Rost, Shadow Assassin, Azir, these things are very good in the late game. But Rek'Sai should be absolutely fine. The 904 means there's very little anyone can do. Galio's roaming again. Scan, cut off with that tunnel that she did earlier, burn the flash. Galio has flash as well. Actually, doesn't matter. I love lethality Rek'Sai when you're ahead because it makes Renekton look like a paperweight. Made of paper. It's beautiful. Now, to close this kind of game out, alright, a lot of times people default to that farming, as I said earlier. You don't want to do that. Look where the pressure is now. You know? Jinx all just casually flying by. Careful here, though. It's a 3v3. Jinx can rotate. Lulu ult saves you. If you don't have a Lulu, you will die here. Saved by Lulu. Good rotation by Jinx. But be very careful in these moments. Because if you throw that lead, you're giving up a dragon and split pressure here. Victor scales monstrously, though. Look at that damage. Unreal. Reset now. The goal is dragon. Jinx should be careful that once they respawn. Good. And now we go take it. So, yes, we had to give up one dragon, which is not always ideal, but when you have a losing lane, it doesn't mean that the game is over as a carnivore jungler. A lot of people feel that, oh, sometimes my bot ints. The bot inted in this game. The bot was useless, so the Rek'Sai just played around mid and top side. and it was good. And now we get a third dragon. And now the Thresh is caught out. And now the Prowler's Crawl gives another kill. And I'm pretty sure they're just gonna FF. If you wanted to finish this, I will link below the video I put out yesterday on the main channel, where you can just go click to the main channel, look at it. It's about losing lanes. There you go. It's about losing lanes, but I touch on macro a little bit in terms of how we need to close things out when things are rough. Also, I did a Kindred video. About actually finishing because no one surrendered, but we want to secure this dragon. You want to push up the waves onto these towers. You want to make sure this gets taken as well. Try and secure the second Herald if you have time and use it for a magnificent push. And I'll put that down for closing, but in terms of Carnivore jungling, at this point, everything you need to do is in this video. Closing our games is a different thing, but you know, the leads we gain and how we position ourselves for the mid and the late game, that's what's crucial for Carnivore junglers. If you find yourself in the late game always saying, how do I close without a lead? You didn't Carnivore jungle correctly. You didn't alpha jungle like this Rek'Sai. So keep that in mind. I love these kind of games sometimes. The pathing, the thought process, when to give things up, when not to. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you were able to enjoy and learn something. Don't forget, coaching links are now below. I'll be uploading those to Patreon for a certain tier, and some of them will go on the gameplay channel eventually, but appreciate all the support, and as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial. Victory.